how to say. I'm speechless.
Well, we saw episodes 2 and 3 of Making a Murderer.
Is this real happening?
That's all real footage.
How? Say, how old is Brandon? 16 at that
16.
time? Okay. How can they go to 16-year-old who is a minor and talk to him without his parents present? And a lawyer, that is, if they did this to me, you were 16, and they did this to me, without talking to me, ooh, I would slap them with the biggest suit in the entire world. And they don't let his mother talk to him?
Nope, they didn't even tell her.
They're not afraid it will go out in the news and the public the way they did?
Well, they have to worry about, what, are you going to do, sue him? That's a very difficult thing to sue when he's being accused of being an accomplice to murder. And see, Steven, he had maintained his innocence. The person who was Steven's alibi, who said Steven didn't do it because I was with him, I saw him, whatever, was Brendan. That's why they pressed Brendan so hard, because without Brendan, they didn't have as strong a case.
The kid is a little bit slow. You can
not just slow. He doesn't say stuff until the detectives feed it to him. They hand it to him, and he repeats it back.
It seems to me, Brendan is in shock and some kind of brain detection.
The police already did a lot of work to make it easier. I mean, for one thing, they already had Steven Avery in custody. He was being tried, and they were making their case. Brendan's family is poor. They don't have the money to get a good investigator, a good lawyer of their own.
Oh.
Steven's only able to have 2 really good lawyers because he got the $400,000 settlement. But even then, that's nowhere close to what the state has to prosecute the case, spend. And not only that, they have more powers, search warrant and stuff, to question people. They can't do that. So, but even so, they don't have. Steven didn't have the same. But Brendan, definitely, it was poor white trash. She didn't have one.
A kid to detect him and tell them.
Well, they believe
it was exactly like they giving him the food and the water. Say, eat it.
That's a problem with a lot of false confessions, is people bring that up, and people get exonerated even after they confess, sometimes falsely, because they say the police coerced them.
12-year-old can tell you this is BS.
The investigators would have practically had to hold a gun to Brendan Dassey's head while he confessed, before the judge will say you can't accept this confession.
So if Brendan supposedly didn't confess, Steve could be out, because that was his alibi.
So they still had Teresa Halbach's key in his house. They had her bones in the burn pit in his yard. They had her RAV for her car in their junkyard.
But if Steve killed her, he was so stupid to bring the key to his room and throw it on the floor?
They didn't even find the key for the first few searches.
Exactly. It just doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit, you must quit. You remember? Oh, yeah. God, I heard that. I heard that from Johnny Cochran. And the whole thing is just little bit over.
About 3 weeks after after the sheriffs were being questioned, and they were worried. You heard Tom Koceric, the sheriff, say he's relieved that the settlement is done. So he was worried, his family was worried. Mm-hmm. The other sheriffs were worried because they were being questioned for showing they not only made a mistake in putting Steven Avery in prison, they maliciously went after him because they hated him. Lieutenant Lenk was the one who claimed to have found Teresa Halbach's key in Steven Avery's home. He wasn't supposed to be there. And 3 weeks earlier, he was being questioned for keeping Steven Avery in prison. So whatever the case is, he benefited a lot by Steven Avery being suspected of this. He didn't have to answer for why Steven Avery was in prison for 18 years.
Oh, this is getting worse. By the way,
I'm not saying Steven Avery's innocent or guilty. No. I'm saying the whole case stinks to hell.
I'm not saying Steven Avery is innocent or guilty. No, I don't say anything because I don't know. But it just is kind of fabricated thing. I don't know.
You can't go about convicting a guy the wrong way. That press conference Ken Kratz gave, he told the whole media, that Brendan and Steve raped Teresa Halbach, slit her throat, shot her, burned her. He said that on the news, so now, of course, everybody already thinks he's guilty before the trial.
It's so interesting, but and this, you say it's all over the world now?
All over. Even the lawyers involved and the prosecutor have been questioned all over. They've been on it seems like all the news channels, big and small ones, all over this has been going on, and there's people trying to turn in new evidence, try and get a new trial.
What of Brandon? He's still in jail?
Yes.
What is it now, 10 years or 9 to 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years now. About 10 years.
What they did to this kid, I mean, he's 26 years old now.
That to me is worse than whatever they did to Steve, because it's obvious whether Steve killed Teresa or not, it's obvious Brendan didn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, he missed
He's 26 now.
26 years old. What not only what he doing to Steve Fist, but to his mind.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's almost the worst tragedy.
Well, let's stop here and see the rest, and we take it from there. Oh, ouch! My. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Oh my God.
Everybody, again, learn. Teach your kids. Do not talk to the police without a lawyer. They're going to intimidate you. They can scare you, whatever, and say, you better be honest with us or whatever. They can't do anything real. Or it's better to be honest and not say anything and just tell your lawyer.
Say, okay,
if you didn't,
I want my mom, my dad, and my lawyer. Did you watch part of it at least? Because I hear you sleeping a little bit.
I watched, but
you don't.
Get in the shot.
it's hard to comprehend the whole business there. It's so tragic. It's like out of the dark ages. Okay.
Brandon sitting there, and he practically didn't say anything. He didn't even confess.
Yeah, he said at first he punched her, then he said he stabbed her,
Then he stabbed her,
cut
and
her
then
hair.
I mean, he was saying things, he didn't even know what he was saying. So what happened to her head? And he was sitting there, and he didn't know what he was saying. What did he say? He hit her?
He said Steve punched her, said he cut her throat, cut her hair. And then finally when Wiegert says, who shot her, he says, I think he says Steve did. And they said, well, why didn't you tell us that before? He said, I didn't think of it or something.
Yeah.
He basically comes out and says, I didn't think about it.
It's like they give you food and you said, did you eat it? You didn't eat the food and you said yes to get me off your back.
I find it's emotionally shattering. Frankly, it's like a nightmare. A real nightmare. They say the truth will set you free, but the truth is going to be so shattering in this.
Yeah, and right now I need to drink 2 bottles of water because my throat, and my tongue is sticking to my roof of my mouth.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, that's it.
God bless.
Okay, God bless everybody.
And help everybody.
And help everybody.